Hi everyone, it's Athena. Welcome back. If you're new to my channel, welcome. And thank you all for your continued support. Okay, so let's get started. This reading is for Tuesday around, right? Tuesday the 23rd of June, 2020. Okay? So when we talk about enlightenment, because the word is used, that word is used everywhere in the spiritual community, right? Becoming enlightened. What does that really mean? If have you ever thought about what it really means? So enlightenment is ascending to a new consciousness. It's a new consciousness insofar as you're actually understanding that your consciousness, the new understanding, your enlightenment, is that of the intimacy with all things, pure, wholeness, and love. So you see through the eyes of love, right? You are connected to all things. That is the intimacy with all things, right? People, places, and things. It's not like this sudden, it could be a sudden realization, but it depends on enlightenment just happens. You don't really know when it happens or how it happens. It just does, because you have this enormous love within your heart, and you realize that you are part of the whole. Okay? All right, so let's look at Tuesday the 23rd, and let's see what's happening for today. Okay, wow, this came out, this just came out yesterday. So, are we still in the illusions of grandeur, right? Which cup are you going to choose? Are you going to choose the ones that keep you confused and in patterns and cycles that are no good for you? Or are you going to pick the ones that are, true to who you represent, to who you are, right? And it's an unconscious, look at, that's like his shadow self, right? Picking and choosing, because this is the illusion. Sometimes we think we know what we want and we don't. Most of the time. Most of the time. So this is a rebirth, right? Truly coming out of the illusions and into the life, into vitality, into the life of the sun, which gives us life, right? It's also interesting because it's a bit contradictory, because you have here the illusion, which is clearly your ego, right? And then you have the ego in the positive and the negative, right? The shadow side and the positive side. So that's interesting. It is a contradiction, because you can look at things in your life that could be, right? Either you're going and choosing things that are based upon your ego from a shadow side or from your consciousness awareness. So it is kind of like the rebirth of that knowledge, enlightenment, right? Just what we said. Understanding that you are part of the whole, and understanding the intimacy with all things, and not being disillusioned by the rest. Wow. Universe is always hearing us. Yes. Judgment Day. And that is for all, right? Every day is Judgment Day. Why? Because every day you make the decision, you make this decision. You either make it unconsciously or consciously. That's it. And that's the decision. Judgment Day. So every decision that you are asked to make, right, amongst your community, amongst your friends and family, it's a daily thing. We are not just, this is not just one, when you pass, when you go to the other side and there's Judgment Day. That's not what Judgment Day is, because you have the free will on earth, on the earth plane. You have the free will to make the decision either consciously or unconsciously. How are you choosing? That is your question. How are you choosing to live your life? Right? Yeah. Wow. So with this comes like your beliefs. When you choose your ego, you get heartbroken. But sometimes when you choose your consciousness, like when you truly are in love, right? And you have that pain in your heart. I feel like you're actually feeling that people will, or have in the past, judged your decisions, and you're feeling like you're reaping the pain of your past and the past decisions that you made, let's say, without your consciously knowing it, right? So these cups that you chose at one point, right, could be resurrected back, which means what? Not necessarily the person, but the feeling. The feeling of loss could be still in your own consciousness. Follow me, right? So your pain is still within you're judging yourself for the choices that you made, is my point, right? Your consciousness now is aware of the pain because you're thinking about the pain, and judging yourself on the choices that you made that maybe were just not so, you made them from illusion. You were not thinking clearly about the choices of your past choices. So you're feeling like you want to look at life with new, fresh eyes, yeah? But somewhere this pain lingers because you're judging yourself. And that's what we do. Sorry for the disruption. If you can't hear me, you should just turn up the volume, but it's the vacuum. Okay, so that's what this is. It took me a minute because I was clearly understanding your subconscious and your conscious awareness, but here I get it. You're judging yourself for your past mistakes, or so you thought. They weren't mistakes, they were lessons, but they're still hurt, nonetheless. Okay. It took me a minute. Yeah. The choices that you made about your love life, right, obviously, is still painful. It's paining to you because you feel in your heart of hearts, that there were decisions that you made and people that you chose to be with that you thought were going to go the distance and did not. It wasn't so much illusion as maybe you just looked at it from a different perspective. You didn't see the whole picture, right? You thought it was going to give you happiness, joy, and abundance. And instead, the choice that you made was that of, it was heartbreaking. And maybe also I'm hearing heartbreaking because there is not going to be a second chance. And if there is a second chance, which we'll see in the cards here, but if there is, your fear of being heartbroken again is, is a lot. So if someone were to come back, right, I guess what the universe is saying here, if that's the case, I mean, we're in major retrograde season right now. So if someone were to come back, you have to choose wisely. You really do. Maybe the universe is saying don't judge someone else just by, maybe take your hands off the wheel and let this kind of flow. If someone's coming back to you that hurts you, don't be judgmental. Try to allow it to listen and see what kind of goodness, or you are looking at the goodness. Look at the goodness and don't look at the other, right? So there's a lot of factors here. There's a lot of factors here, because this could be someone either coming back for another chance to be with you that broke your heart, right? Being confused, not knowing if that's really your true destiny. It could also be that you're judging yourself upon the choices that you've made in the past, right? Because you chose more of the illusions of your ego versus your true nature. All right? And then, of course, looking at this from a point of really and truly, seeing the goodness in another instead of the hurt and pain, and allowing the goodness to be the predominant right here. Another contradiction. So you have contradiction with the illusion, right? Happy, sad, obviously. So that's where you're going to need, if this is a potential partner coming in, that could be soulmate, true love, what have you, the universe may be saying don't judge based upon your past, the past hurts and the choices that you made before. So there's a lot there, all right? It is general, but there's 3-4 different possibilities of how you're going to deal. Success. Look at that. Or is it a 3? Okay, I got to get another one. Hold on. Because from the 2, we go to the 3. So could that be a third party? I got to say it because it's there. All right, one more card. It's this one. Yeah, someone got cut out. All right, so that's what happened. You were being judged by others because you had many options. You had a third party. That is gone away. And now we are left with 2. You were someone's third party may have come out into the light, seriously, right? Someone was, and also another scenario is someone was confused as to where their happiness lies. So they did make a decision, that's the good part of this. Someone made the decision to cut someone out of the picture, because there's 3 here and there's 3 here. The 3 of Swords, right? The 3 of Swords, the 3 of Cups, and then you have the 5 of Swords. So someone got cut out, for sure. So someone has been cut out because I think that in general, generally speaking, that you were judging yourself for having, I think you were feeling guilty, honestly, about having a third party. You finally, like, consciously, like, I think there was a time where you weren't really, like, caring about it, because that's your shadow. You were just like, okay, whatever, I'm doing it, right? I have many options and I'm going for it. So then you had this third party situation, but it came out into the open. And when it came out, of course, people were judging you. And of course, there was pain and sorrow, right? So you ultimately knew that in order to save yourself, you had to, and not to have others judge you or even yourself judge you, that a third party situation had to be released. Yeah, that was like my first feeling when I saw that Three of Cups. I wanted to say happy times, we're making the right choices now, but it was a third party. Let's get one more card. Look at that, came right out. See? So the cup that's being offered to you is actually the cup that you are meant to take. You are meant to be with this person. It's Judgment Day. Right? Every day is Judgment Day. So the choices that you made had repercussions of a third person being cut out of the equation. And now this cup is being offered to you as the true path in which you are to be on. One had to be released. I mean, it's true. So that this cycle could be broken without question. This is a continuous pattern of cycle, and that had to be broken. So the universe said it needs to be exposed and be shown for what it's worth. And maybe yourself and others judged. Look at that. So injustice for all. So that's how the universe works, right? The universe says, okay, so here's the deal. This cannot be, you cannot stay in this kind of situation. So we're going to have to bring it out into the open, and it's going to hurt for sure, but someone needs to get cut out, right? And in order for this cycle to stop, injustice for all, for sure. So a third party had to be cut out. Oh my God, yes. Are you kidding me? Look, you didn't want to let go, but you had to. Yeah. So someone's now left out of the cold. Of course, let me tell you something. Someone's going to get left out in the cold, and some forgiveness has to happen here, of self or of others, or from the person that you cut out. It could be all of them, all of the above. So this is what's happening. This is what is, the universe is saying, we're not playing games anymore, right? You see what's going on in the world today. It's not only just external to you. We are part of the whole. So basically, whatever things are happening out there, people and places in politica, the economy, everything's going to get cut out that is no longer necessary for our growth, right? Our soul needs to grow and expand. And these kind of like literally third-party instances, happenings that some choose, I mean, not throwing any shade, but this is why things are happening in the world today. It's part of the process of things love has to be taken seriously, right? Enlightenment is understanding where we define the love that we have and understand that it's sacred, right? When we commit to someone, it's sacred. And that has been throughout the ages. there's been cheating, third parties, other, men and or women having whole nother families with others. Those old patterns are all breaking down now. The system is breaking down in order for all of us to understand that this cannot sustain, because the love that we so readily say to others, I love you, it's not a joke. It's a sacred commitment. It's a vow that you take. It's whether or not you take it in front of a church or outside by the beach. All right? It's still a vow that you take seriously. And I'm sorry about that noise. But I just need one more oracle card for this reading. But let me explain that to you, right? Love is sacred. And people that get involved in these situations outside of their bonded vow to be together has to break down. It's just like the vows that people have made in politics, right? When they go before the court system and they vow to honor the United States of America, I'm just saying as an example, right? Any country, the president vows to make the country better, and those people who cannot stay within that realm of loving their country and being honorable and just, that's fading away. That's getting cut out. Same with love relationships. It's all getting cut out because love is a sacred bonding, and it doesn't have to be just, a marriage or a lover or a boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. It doesn't have to be between a mother and a father, a mother and a daughter, or a father and a daughter, whatever, right? This whole reading is about Judgment Day is here for all, because the value of and bond and the vows of sacred love has to override now and understand the value that brings. Okay, I went off on a tangent there. But that is enlightenment. Enlightenment is understanding and accepting the bond of love and the intimacy of all things of the whole. Look at Master Jesus comes in, forgiving. Right, Jesus forgave those who were not loyal to him when he came in the 3D world, right? They crucified him because they didn't believe. It's Judgment Day. I'm telling you right now. Forgive those who have hurt you. Forgive yourself for choosing pathways that were not sacred. Forgive yourself for the people, places, and things that are being cut out for obvious reasons, and some not so obvious. You are on the path of light, love, and forgiveness. Father, healing is possible at this time. And I'm sorry about all the noise, but I think the distraction was there to keep me focused on this reading. It's never happened before. So that was interesting. I mean, I've had the dogs barking, but seriously, that was like major vacuum going on. So, right? Jesus said, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Remember that always. Have a great day.